Before I have my Starbucks, I say a little prayer for you. Because seriously, if you talk to me before I have my coffee, I'm joking. I haven't had coffee or anything. I just woke up. If I sound funny, it's because I just woke up. So, this light-hearted debate is raging on my Facebook page. You can find my Facebook information in the information below. Friend me, I accept all friends. Come join the fun. So I said, what about the half-black, half-white children when they choose to just marry or date black girls? How offended is the white parent about this? And then we had the various responses, some of them very colorful, as you can check out on my Facebook page. The thing is, because this country concentrates so much on race, everybody's divided, and black people are the only ones who refuse to identify themselves as a group, although everybody else is identified as a group. And this is what I keep talking about, that if you want actual power, economic power, financial power, political power, you have to realize that you've already been separated. Black people are trying to put the cart before the horse. I'm telling you, no, the horse goes in front. You have to be a group. Black people are the answer. When we decide to be a group, then all of this other mess will completely blow away. You don't believe me? You don't think that's true? I don't care if you're one of those super peaceful white people, super peaceful black people, super racist white people, super prejudiced black people. I have seen the future. Black people have the most potential power in the entire country. Once we get organized, the entire country will fall into place. But black people, I have to convince black people of this first. Now let's get to the topic at hand. Because the United States concentrates on separation by race, quote unquote, we scar and mar and traumatize biracial children. The children of, white, non-white, white people, they don't suffer this. It's only the children who are quote unquote biracial. And if you look weird, as children would say, and you're in a black environment and you're a kid, you're gonna suffer all sorts of weird trauma. Why? Because children pick up on racism at a very early age. Just go look at the doll test. Google that and look at all of the videos, read all the research. Black children pick up on racism at a very early age. Isn't that a terrible thing? I would have it that you don't understand about racism or know it exists until you're like 16 or something like that, when you've come into your own identity. And that's the real problem, isn't it? I had some educators tell me, oh, black children suffer from bad grades in black schools. Oh, they probably suffer from this because they understand that there's racism in the world and it applies to them only. These are the videos that I did talking about magnet schools or private schools where black people can get vouchers to instead of going to horrible public schools. Black kids pick up on racism at a very early age. I'm not talking about 12. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6. One question, bursting into tears just for asking a question. It is so prevalent and so completely integral to them already that they are bursting into tears over it. And you have this internal colorism going on in the black community, that you think that a darker black child is worse than a lighter skinned black child. I mean, how ignorant are you? How stupid are you? And if you're one of those people, God help you. God, don't even don't leave a comment on my channel about that. If you think that darker skinned, more pure black people are somehow inferior to somebody with white Neanderthal blood, really? You understand that black people are the last pure humans on the planet, right? Everybody else is some form of Neanderthal, Peking man, these other humanoids that existed who were so inferior that they died off. White supremacy is the fight to keep whites from being destroyed by the dominant races. Oh, have you studied DNA? That's exactly how they actually put it. Dominant DNA. The white DNA is so weak that even the off-color DNA is more dominant than the white DNA. I completely understand. It's not that they're superior, it's that they're so inferior that they feel backed into a corner. Now, I'm not talking about the rednecks, I'm not talking about the trailer trash who have absolutely no power. I'm not talking about secretaries in an office. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the members of the board, Star Chamber, the Illuminati, the NWO, Rosicrucia, Masons. That's who I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about all the Masons. All the Masons don't even know what the hell is going on. Just like all the Mormons don't know what's going on. I'm talking about the inner circle, secret circle that all of these people, the Elks, all these people, the Hellfire Club, I'm talking about those people. They feel backed into a corner, so they're lashing out at the world. Oh my God. If you mix with a Mexican, your babies will come out half orange or whatever color that is. And I'm not trying to insult Mexicans. I'm trying to give you an artist perspective of what color that is. Burnt sienna. What's the guy, the artist guy from PBS with the afro, the white guy? They'll come out a happy brown color, you know? Now, should the parent of a mixed race child who's white be offended that the child, who more than likely is going to grow up around black children, who's oppressed, quote unquote, by black children? I mean, children are brutal. Why do you have yellow hair? What is wrong with you? Why is your skin so pale? Oh my God, you're not black at all. You know, well, I grew up in a different society, so I didn't hear stuff like that. We actually, in the richer society, we actually didn't have a whole bunch of race. I didn't hear stuff like that. And I was the only black face for miles at times in some of the countries I lived in, and some of the schools I went to, for miles, the only black person. I didn't suffer the racism and all that propaganda that Americans put each other through. And these Illuminati and the United Nations it's so ironic that the United Nations tries to indict the United States for all the racism, when in fact they're probably the most racist organization on the planet. Nigeria should be ruling the United Nations on a basis equal to the United States. I don't think people understand economies. I don't think people understand. But they won't do that. They won't have Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Kenya. They won't have these blowing up economies on the same equal footing as the Western nations. And I mean, literally, if you invested in these economies right now, you would come out a billionaire yourself. Africa is producing billionaires at a scale unheard of, even in the Middle East, even in the United States, even in Europe. Billionaires producing. Yet you don't hear that in the news. Should these white parents be offended? One of the people responding to this question that I put forth said they have to go through this identity phase where they might go overboard with identifying who they're going to ultimately be, if they're going to be black. So She says, so they'll go overboard and they'll quote unquote talk black. They'll dress black. They'll act black when of course, that's not. You know, I have people saying, you act white. You sound white. What the hell? I sound rich. That's what I sound. I act rich. Or even worse, you act gay. You sound gay. I sound rich. This is what money sounds like. Gay people are acting some other weird fantasy that I don't know. I don't know why would a man act like a woman? Isn't that what he hates? I don't get it. And it's an act. I interviewed for an airline years ago, and I knew this guy, and he acted super duper gay all the time. And yes, I mean he acted gay. Women don't act like that. Women don't go, oh honey child. Women don't do that. I know plenty of women. Plenty. It's an act. It's a gay act. It's not a woman act. Women don't act like that. With the hand flopping. No. Women don't act like that. There are quite a few women who act far more manly than I ever could. It's so funny. I'd never date them, but I'd have them walk around with me in dark corners. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I would. I really would. You're not a man. You would let a woman defend you. Oh, hell yeah. 300 pounds. I have known some women, pretty in the face, could break my bones just by, they were massage therapists, so they had extra strong hands. But as to this guy that acted super gay, and yes, it's a gay act. In the interview, it was a group interview. They had like 100 people in the room. In the group interview, he stood up and he goes, yes, my name is Russell Smith. I have experience, and he sounded exactly like I'm talking about a white guy, right? He sounded exactly like that. I was like, so it is an act. It is an act. And so this is the identity crisis that these biracial children go through. Not all, a lot. They go through this phase where they want to figure out who they are. And quote unquote talking black is a phase that they go through. I hate that term because I don't talk like that. Nobody, I know tons of black people, they all talk like me. I'm sorry to tell you. The media has lied to you. This is really why I made my channel. Not every black person is a damn criminal, thuggish, who talks like this. You know, whatever the way that is. I'm shocked that people know that I'm black on my videos like this where I don't present my face at all. They might see my little icon or something like that. But they go through this identity crisis. Children aren't born prejudiced and evil. It's usually some evil that they have learned, even if it's from other children. You know, freshman night, right? Remember high school? Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't go through that. At boarding school, freshman hell week is when you first get back to school, you're a brand new freshman, and all the other sophomore, juniors, senior, mostly seniors, put you through hell, keep you up all night, which is funny because they're staying up all night too. Beat you, depending on what school you go to. Throw cold buckets of water on you while you're sleeping. Trash your room, call you names. You don't get to eat or something. You know, they spread out so you can't sit down at the table. You know, weird stuff that you see people in jail do. I hear. I've never been to jail. I'm assuming it's like that. Just to say, just as the clearing phase, so this is what the other children put the biracial kids through, but it's not freshman week. It's half-breed life. It continues all their life, right? So they have to try and fit in somehow. This is all because of this stupid racial manipulation. I'm telling you, black people get it together. If we got it together, all of this would disappear. All of this wouldn't, at some point, it wouldn't matter. Now, I do feel sorry for the parent that is rejected, because it's a rejection. It says, you made a mistake. I'm not going to make this mistake. Ultimately, I am going to purify the way my family looks. And my family means me and my black wife and our black children. I'm not going to look weird. I'm not going to have red hair. I'm not going to have freckles. My kids aren't going to have freckles. They're not going to have red hair or some weird color. They're going to be black with black and brown skin and brown eyes and brown hair, brown dick with the black butt, the black breast. And it's an ultimate rejection of that white parent. And it could be a white dad, a white mom. It doesn't matter. I say the answer is that black people need to get it together. Now, I've already told you that the biracial couple thing is a rarity. Black men, 93% of black men marry black women. 97% of black women marry black men. The numbers are negligible when you talk about who is marrying who, but it has never gotten down below 90%. There is still mostly racial purity in the black community. Now, I don't want to hear people say, oh, people should marry who they want to. No, first of all, we have to come together as a group. There has to be a plan. We have to come together as a group, fix the group, which will in turn, I believe, fix the damn country. Here we are still dealing with slavery propaganda and the whole thing of black people aren't really people. Still today, 2015, we have cops beating black people over the head simply because they're black. Yes, they have said this. National TV, national news, they have said this. People in power, in law enforcement. If I could get every black person in jail, I would. 2015, we're still dealing with this crap. First, get the group together. The nation will fall in place. If we have a powerful black community, there will be absolutely no qualms, no equivocations. Well, I thought you all were inferior. And I already told you in the video that I mentioned about talking about the African oral history, which nobody watched. And a few people that watch it said, this is great, and they don't share it. God bless, I swear to God. You don't get the internet. Please get off of the internet if you don't understand what's going on. TV, you literally can just sit and watch TV and everything falls in place. The internet is not like that. It's a audience participation sport. In my oral history thing, I said there were Africans who were dedicated to memorizing entire libraries orally and keeping it in their brain and being able to reproduce it word for word on the pain of death. And I said there is absolutely nothing wrong with the brain of the African man and African woman, I guess. Nothing wrong with the brain of the African man. We have the most potential. We've invented the most things. Get the group together, and once we get the power structure of the group together, all of this other mess will fall by the wayside, because how can you argue with success? That's how you deal with haters. You become successful and even more successful. That's how you deal with haters. Get the group together first, and the rest of the stuff will disappear. I'm telling you, it will disappear. Trust me, it will disappear. I have seen the future. Listen to me. I'm talking to ghosts. If I can talk to ghosts, I'm sure I can see the future, right? If you believe that I talk to ghosts, surely you believe that I've seen the future. I swear to God, my roommate came to me the other day and he said, do we have Windex? And I said, quote, I see the Windex. It's here. It's in a clean place. We went from room to room to room to room. I said it's in a clean place and it's by itself. Finally, we went to the hallway closets, opened it up, and up on the top shelf by itself in a white surrounding was the Windex. It took us 10 minutes searching all of the normal places like under the sink, in the cabinets, in the laundry section, in the den, in the bathroom. Then finally we went to the hallway and there it was, exactly as I had seen it. I'm telling you, I got some powers here. Hey, and finding Windex, that's more practical than seeing who's going to go to war, isn't it, right? That's more useful, isn't it? Right? Who would you rather have, the guy who sees the Windex or the guy who sees war over in Syria, right? Anyway, you get my drift. Sometimes it's better to have $1 than have the potential of $1 million. Because if you can get the dollar 1,000,000 times, the $1 million doesn't matter. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. I'll shut up now. Share the video. Add it to your watch later list. That's what I'm promoting now. Watch later, watch later, watch later. Thank you.